Hello and welcome back into another episode of 1776 Podcast. All right, so we got a few things we're going to go over today. Just a few things I want to touch on, and then there's something we're going to kind of sit on for just a little bit and have a conversation about. So obviously, Hurricane Helene, the aftermath of that, is it's terrible. We're going to talk about P. Diddy. The ILA with the ports closed, those kind of things, and what that can bring on. And then we're going to talk about something that I feel is very important and kind of answers part of the question of what can we do? What can I do? So let's get into it. First thing is first, let's hear from our sponsors. Hey, this is Devin with 1776 Podcast and Constitutional Coffee Company. That's right. That's me. All right, so check it out. We're going to do a video on what we stand for. We are a very conservative coffee company that's not extreme right, but very conservative. Hence the name, Constitutional Coffee Company. The reason we started that coffee company was to be able to fund the education of the consumer. So a lot of people don't know where their constitutional rights are. They don't understand. They don't know what they can do. We have a situation in Coffee County right now where they don't know what they can do, and we want to bring that education. So we want to do everything we can to be able to help people and to be able to, really bring us back to a country that understands why we have a constitution and what that protects. And what our obligations are under that Constitution and what the government's obligations are. So with that being said, buy some. It is ground, it is roasted, it is packaged the day that it ships. So by the time you get it, it's 3, 4, 5 days fresh. What you buy off of the shelf at your local Walmarts or Piggly Wiggly or wherever it is you purchase your stuff from, what you buy off the shelf there is at least a month old. So, check us out, give it a look. Yep, it's a little bit more expensive, but I promise you it's worth it. We do give discounts. We are looking to do things to be able to lower our prices, but that takes a larger customer base. Obviously the coffee, it's all got to pay for itself. We've got hats, shirts, those kind of things, but definitely give us a check. Order some, leave a review. We'd greatly appreciate it. Constitutional Coffee Company. All right, I'm back with you again, even though I was just with you. That was pre-recorded, so it doesn't count. Anyway, so today, actually 24 hours ago, so yesterday, the law firm that is I cannot speak today. I couldn't speak on the last podcast either. The law firm, the Busby law firm, and I believe Ava Law Group. I could be wrong on this, but I believe they both are joint on processing on the lawsuit with against Sean Diddy Combs. There's been thousands of accusers. I think they said they've had over 3,000 accusers, but they go through very rigorous reporting and very rigorous investigations. They've got to have proof, that kind of thing. So there are 120 confirmed victims that have retained them, and it's like split right down the middle between male and female. One of the things is apparently Diddy was spiking their drinks with horse tranquilizer. There is hospital reports, those kind of things, toxicology reports that shows a large amount of horse tranquilizer in their system when those people went to those parties or whatever kind of situation it was. Anyway, so that is from like 1991 on. There's a lot more to that, and we can get into that if you want to, all 10 of you that watch. But just wanted to touch on that a little bit. I think Jaguar Wright, she's been revealing a lot And then Mr. Busby, with the Busby Law Firm, he actually said that they have names. They have a lot of names, a lot of people that you know. That is just going to surprise you, that they will be releasing after confirmations from their investigators. All right, so we're going to transition into a little bit about Hurricane Helene and the aftermath in Asheville and around those areas. There's a couple things I want to touch on, and then I'm going to do something a little bit deeper on this later. So Hurricane Helene, we know that it destroyed North Carolina. And yes, you're going to hear my kids in the background. That's because I'm at home and my kids are homeschooled. Something you should look into. But anyhow, so I digress. Hurricane Helene, there's looters. I posted something on our Facebook yesterday. They're being told, the residents are being told, and anyone that's out there helping is being told, if you have a gun, keep it on you. Also make sure the safety is off, because that's how serious it is. There's been reports that Haitians were dropped off the night before just outside of Asheville. I know there was like 50 trucks that were coming the next day or so that their tires were all slashed. There's been a bunch of things happening out there that's just really weird. Interesting enough, did you know that the world's largest lithium deposit is in North Carolina? Food for thought. Yep. Within 90 miles of Asheville, there is a huge, I think it's third largest in the nation, or in the world. There is a huge mining process going on. And by 2025, like DOD and this company, which I will come out with the name of this company later, and we'll talk a little bit about who actually is part owner in this company. So yeah. I don't know. But anyways, so that's something to think about. We're going to talk about weather modification, those kind of things. Believe in it or not, it's real. There's patents. There is proof. They've come out and told us that they do it. They've come out and told us that they've done it. I posted proof on my page, and if you think, oh, he's just a conspiracy theorist, no. Not just conspiracy theorists. These are conspiracies. Conspiracies are facts. So it's not a theory when you can prove it. So anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that at the moment, besides that if you can help. No matter what, if you're a Christian, pray. Pray for them. They need it. They're already being approached by the mining companies. People are dying out there still. Also, they can't get the help they need. And I don't think their governor's done anything still. DeSantis has. He's been there, I believe, since day one. But, who am I? Anyways, so that's a little bit out of the way for that. Let's talk about the ports being closed. Let's talk about the ILA. Apparently, everybody's buying toilet paper again and paper towels. Just a quick PSA. Major toilet paper brands, Charmin, Cottonelle, Quilted Northern, Angel Soft, those are manufactured in the United States. So when you go out and you purchase 10 things of toilet paper, you're just making it harder on everyone else. Now I go to the store and there's no toilet paper there because, Joe Blow down the road decided he needed, 10 things of toilet paper. Well, not only do you make it harder on everyone else, when the goods actually do come in, they're going to be delayed because you went out like an idiot and bought a butt ton of toilet paper, pun intended. And you should be buying other things. You should be buying rice. You should be buying beans. You should be stocking up on things like that. These ports are closed. Everybody's freaking out. Why are you freaking out? Plan. Jeez. It's a hurry up and wait game, why? You don't care about things any other time. I've seen so many people running out to go get toilet paper. Oh, I gotta get toilet paper. Gotta get paper towels. Gotta do this. Gotta do that. Well, I've got rice and beans in the cabinet because something like this happens, or God forbid, a disaster like what happened with Helene happens here in this area. You got to be able to survive. Everybody wants to go to work, come home, sit down, watch the TV, watch your CNN and Fox News that is bull crap. Though they all, I mean, Fox News is better than all of the rest of them, but they still all have an agenda, and it's not for your well-being. Okay, they still all get subsidized. And I really can't talk today, and it's probably these headphones, but I'm supposed to wear them for some reason. So, anyways, there's a couple things I want to watch here in a little bit. Just 4 or 5 minutes worth of videos I want to show you. But first, let's close out this port situation. Guys, the time to be prepared is beforehand. Prepared. Prepped prior. It's called being proactive. If you care about your family, if you care about yourself and your neighbors around you, it's time to start thinking in those ways. World War II was not, the official start date was not announced until afterwards. It's very, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it's very, very scary when you see what's going on with Israel right now. Iran launching over 130 missiles. I've watched videos that you don't see in mainstream and you can't see in America for the most part. You got to be on a VPN to look at them. I've watched videos of these missiles coming down, and one out of like 25 that I've seen was shot down. The Iron Dome is a joke. It's an absolute joke. It was overwhelmed in one of the most horrific actions that was taken by Iran to bomb Israel. And there's all these things that you're only going to see bits and pieces of. These people are living it. Russia tells Israel to get out of Lebanon. Like, you really need to start looking at these things, because World War III, we're already there. We're already there. When you are going to attack the big boss, you come up with a plan, right? And you don't go until you're prepared. You might make some little battles along the way to keep, push some others out of the way, get you prepared for the big boss. I'm not saying that there will be war on our American soil, but I'm not saying that there won't be. What I am saying is that for me and my family, we will be prepared. Will you? I'm going to be holding a preppers class, me and a few other people. It's not a coalition. It's not a militia or anything like that. You can get those words out of your head. And I just want to make that clear from the get-go, that this is something that, when it comes to your constitutional rights, when it comes to what can we do, like the people of Coffee County asked over and over again, Enterprise, Alabama, a couple weeks ago, what can they do? What can they constitutionally do? There's not a lot you can do. You got to rely on your judicial system. You got to rely on who you voted in, and who you didn't, and who was appointed by people that you did vote in. So with that being said, there's a couple things like state defense forces, those kind of things, but those are generally unarmed. We do not have anyone to protect us here at home, especially in event of a World War III. If that's what we really are in, which I think we are already. I think that started months and months ago, cyber attacks and everything else. Who's going to protect us here at home in the homeland? You know, we're going to go overseas and we're going to fight other people's battles, and we're going to create battles of our own. Um, Unless, of course, the current administration does more stupid stuff like they're known for doing. But what I'm saying is that you need to be prepared to protect your own. That's what the Second Amendment gives you. Is it gives you the right to bear arms. It gives you the right. You have those rights to protect your house and home, to protect your freedom. And I'm not saying, you know, that you're supposed to go out and hunt these people down. I'm not talking about, you know, military activity. I'm talking about protecting yourself, protecting your property. And you need to be prepared to do that. You need to be prepared and have a preparation plan. You need to have a prepped plan with different scenarios with your kids, with your inner circle, those kind of things. So we're going to be doing a class at some point on those things. And really it's more going to be like a congregation of people, an assembly of people that just get together and kind of share knowledge. And hopefully that helps, you know, and hopefully that helps people figure out, you know, things they may need in the event of a complete shutdown where we have no power, we have no food, we have no this and that. In the event that, you know, something happens that we need to be able to band together and cook big meals or deal with certain situations. So I know that can sound cryptic, but I don't mean it that way by any means. I want to be very clear that what I mean is preparation for things that could happen. You know, and I don't mean don't have fun, guys. When I say that you know, you want to go to work, come home, watch TV, ride your side by side, ride your four wheeler, go hunting, all these things, those are fine and those are fun. But things are serious. You know, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but powers and principalities. Powers and principalities are bigger than flesh and blood. Those are things that are carried on through the lineages, through, you know, offices and those kind of things, and they're much bigger than flesh and blood. So, and let me be very clear: I am a Christian. I do believe in the Bible. I do believe in God. And I do believe that it is our obligation, and let this be a call to action for Christians. All you Christians out there that say that you're a Christian, you go to church, you come home, what do? Do you live your life that way? I'm not saying that you have to go to church every time the doors are open. I'm not saying anything like that. I don't believe that. But what I do believe is that being a Christian is a day-to-day walk. You have to wake up and you start that day making choices. Making choices. Every choice you make, is it for you or is it for God? Pray. Pray constantly. That's what the Bible says. But we're lazy. And I'm talking to myself too. You know, I don't pray as much as I need to. I don't talk to God as much as I need to. And just even saying that, you know, in a public setting, really gets to me. So I don't like to do like hour-long episodes. So we'll talk more about stuff like that later. But what I do want to get into is I want to transition into our last piece on here, and it is the Brunson versus Adams case. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that at all, but basically Lloyd Brunson is suing 385 members of Congress. And, of course, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and one other person. But it's... let's see, what was it? Alma S. Adams, I think is what it is. Anyways, so this is about the fact that they did not investigate the 2020 election. You know, they were supposed to take 10 days, let everything come through, and be able to certify those votes via that investigation, via their evidence. So, they didn't do that. They just, Lee said, "Oh, we got to push it through. We got to push it through. We got to push it through," and so they pushed it through, and they certified them. But that's literally just like signing a check with no money in the bank, and that's wrong, completely wrong. And this isn't about having them, overturn 2020, that kind of thing. It could cause that. But this is about the fact that they did not do their due diligence, and they did not do what they are bound to do. They took an oath and sort of uphold the Constitution. So there's two things I'm going to show you. I'm going to switch over here, and I want to show you it's probably about a minute's worth of this video, a minute and 20-second worth of this video that I want to show you. But this is on LoyBrunson.com. And I just want you guys to know what this is and be able to make a decision for yourself whether or not you're going to sign this. And it basically, what this petition is for them to do what they're supposed to. So I believe the outcome of this, if it's granted, would be to a complete reset. Everyone in Congress would be gone, and they would be replaced. And this would be done properly. It's not about Democratic. It's not about Republican. It is about the republic, the democracy, and the Constitution, and the fact that the fact that the government operates by our Constitution, under our Constitution. It doesn't empower them to make decisions outside of our Constitution and outside of our judicial system, which they did make. So the Supreme Court has more power now than it ever has in this. And so let me just switch over to that real quick, and we'll take a look at it. All right, so let's go ahead and play this video.
But I was like, no, that can't be true. That can't be true.
Lloyd Brunson's strategy works this way. After the 2020 election, hundreds of citizens and elected lawmakers stepped forward with evidence of misconduct and malfeasance and criminal behavior during that election. Well, Brunson's argument is that Congress was constitutionally required to investigate this evidence due to their oaths of office, in which every member swears to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
And so we're not suing about the outcome of the election. We're not suing to put someone in office. We're suing to remove the security breach. And the security breach is every single member of Congress that refused to do their job and defend this country.
Are you kidding me? And I'm literally going on the Supreme Court website, and I downloaded the case that he was referring to. Holy cow, this is like everything. Of all the anxiety that we all have, all the prayers that have gone towards asking for God's intervention somehow, some way, bring his vengeance, because these evil people are overthrowing our country.
We're part of we the people, right? And so when you petition for redress of grievances, you don't petition to the Congress. You don't petition to the president. You petition through the courts. And then the final court of the land, the Supreme Court of the United States, is the final say on that petition for redress of grievances. And that's what we've been able to do.
All right, so you can go and you can watch the rest of this if you want to. Like I said, LoyBrunson.com. I will link that in the description. But this is the information, and it's all there if you want to take a look at it. Now, it does cost $4, and I'm sure that's because they're funding this as much as they can by themselves. I don't know much about the Brunsons, But do your investigation, look into it. Now, this is important. When you ask, what can I do? Or you live behind a government blanket. At some point in time, that blanket's going to fall apart, or it's going to choke you out. We are the people, and we have a voice. Speak. Sign your name. Do it. Do it. All right, so you're going to have a question about what Rule 11 is. I'm going to pull something up that just kind of explains that for you. Give me just a second. Let me get that. Get that pulled up. Come on. There we go. All right, so... All right, we're going to pop over here, and I'll let you watch this real quick. Then I'm going to say a few things, and I'll let you get out of here. All right, let me go back. All right, we'll start at the 4-minute mark. I had to do this again because apparently I didn't transition. So here we go.
Justices have ever seen, okay, the current justices. The last time someone representing themselves had a Rule 11 petition for writ of certiorari filed was never. I'm the first person in history representing themselves that's ever had a Rule 11 allowed to be filed at the Supreme Court.
So what exactly, again, is a Rule 11?
A Rule 11 means you can bypass the normally required lower court decision, which in my case was the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals in Colorado. And so we sent this to them saying, hey, we feel a national emergency. And the Rule 11 basically says that they can accept it and allow you to bypass that final court's decision if they decide, with the words, right in Rule 11 it says, if they decide it is of imperative public importance.
So
they had to decide.
What makes it a Rule 11.
Right. So they decided that it was imperative public importance, and they allowed it to be filed. And this is the first one in history that someone representing themselves has ever had one filed.
This is pretty amazing.
Yes.
Well,
and this is the first time,
awesome.
time since the 70s. So this is the first time the justices have ever experienced a Rule 11 filed during their tenure.
Okay. So what made you want to do this?
Well, when we saw Mike Pence and many other members of Congress refuse a simple 10-day pause for an investigation, and especially when people like conservative senators, we consider constitutional senators and members of the House,
right.
We're saying, I have a constitutional duty to certify this. It's like, that wasn't the question. It wasn't about the constitutional duty being violated. It was about, you have an obligation to make sure it's certifiable, that you're not certifying something fraudulent. So
Exactly.
when you have a mountain of evidence, you better darn well investigate to do your job. And
We'll go ahead and stop it there. You're welcome to go watch this video. Obviously, it's on YouTube. Lloyd Brunson, first Rule 11 docket by a pro se litigant. Not sure what that means. I'm not Latin. Anyhow, I'm assuming that means by someone defending themselves. Or acting as their own attorney. Correct me if I'm wrong. Generally not wrong, so unless you're my wife. If you're my wife, you're going to say I'm wrong all the time, and you're right, which is accurate. So, anyways, so that being said, SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States, they are prepared to listen, and we need to talk. Okay, we need to let our voices be heard. So, definitely, show your support there. Give it a look. And if you have questions, let me know. If you're interested in the preparedness course. And I say course loosely. If you're interested in teaching something, if you are interested in being a part of it, let us know. We're going to do more than one. I really want to create a network where people are able to, figure out how to do their own gardens, figure out how to make their own medicines, those kind of things. And I'm I'll probably need to stop there. But yep, definitely check those out. Anyway, so that'll be the end of our video today. I appreciate your support. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Turn the notification bell on. Ring a ding ding it. I don't know. Anyways, so if you could share this with your friends, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'll be taking clips from this, making shorts. We're going to do another episode soon. Soon we're going to have Mr. Real on here, Jared Halsey. We'll be doing an episode together. Just kind of talk about a few things. It probably won't be scripted. It probably won't have a syllabus, itinerary. We'll probably just wing it. So I'd like to do that. Remember Ecclesiastes 10:1. The heart of the wise inclines to the right, but the heart of the fool to the left. Y'all have a good night.